Hello, so this is a showcase to the assembly and modular setup for like this bike setup I want to show, and I wanted to do like print all those elements and do it like in real life and like a proper showcase with like all the part printed to also so you can see everything print well. So it's gonna be a bunch of timestamp you can skip if you don't want to like see the whole video or just want to see some of the setup. Like if you want to do the additional add-on, I'm gonna sell this Kickstarters. My machine is like offline, so I didn't have the time to print. I have like a bunch of problem right now, so I couldn't like print all those parts and do a proper showcase with all the bodies and stuff. But I think this will help to imagine and also to see how it constructs. If you need this assembly video, it's like in the link of the pack you're gonna receive. You always gonna have a 3D viewer with my models to see how the assemblies go. So it's gonna be like a 3D viewer on Sketchfab, and it's gonna be more or less like that. And I think you can see all the model I did, but like you have for the bike, you have the same animation here, right? So later on, because I guess it's gonna be simpler if you just save this link for the assembly, right? If you need it, but it's pretty straightforward, right? So in the 3D, it's in my Blender file, so I did this small animation. So basically, you have the main body, right? This is like not the main model, and you can put the girl on top, and the back slide from bottom to top, and the front part just plug like from right to left, right? When you overview it, it's not swappable, so it's not gonna hold if you don't glue. You can try to do any kind of magnet stuff, but like I would not do it because it's pretty small. You can do it, but I was afraid like if you don't have a good resin, it's gonna break, right? And because I paint and print myself, um, I don't want to like paint that kind of model for like a day. Let's say it's 8 hours painting job or even a 4 hours painting job, because I don't do 8 hours painting job. I'm not that good. But anyway, that's not the point. I don't want it to break, and especially if you use it for like gaming and stuff. I really didn't want it to break, so it's better to glue them. And here I did so in the same system, so you can, of course, show like the jet bike setup or the bike normal bike. I'm gonna show you without the animation with the proper base. If you don't want the base here, I did that just in case you have no time to like pin your 3D model, your resin printed model, because I think it looks better when you pin stuff and primed and black. But if you don't like that, or you don't have the time or you don't want to pin, there is this base that should works fine. And here you have like the different top part in the showcase. The video didn't showcase all the parts because I didn't have the time to make multiple videos. It takes time. Even that kind of animation takes time. So as you can see, you have two top if you want. I like this one, and maybe this one could look good for other models too. We'll see later. You can have the side attachment. So either you want just the true protection here, just paint before doing the final assembly, right? It makes sense. And then you can add your turrets, and of course the turrets use a rifle base. It's gonna be included in the pack, and you can put any rifles from the main Aurora Vanguard setup on the sentry, and you can adjust the placement. Again, it's not meant to be like modular with magnets, but if you can and if you want, maybe it's possible. I'm not sure. And if you want the bike without the girl, because the girl, as you can see, it's linked to the footrests and seat, and also the handles. If you don't want the girl, just the bike as a decoration, or you want a pin-up on top or a photo like that, or another model, you can have the bike without the girl, and it's the same assembly. So it's the top is sandwich the handles. We have the seat, and you need to glue both foot like that, right? So I see the turret animation here. So like that, you don't need to have, you're not uh, close to having the body. If you just want the bike without the girl, you can also have it. Even like have I don't know, another type of showcase, or a girl's or another model on top of the bike, like doing any kind of some weird stunt, right? Like being standing up on the bike and shooting and something. I don't know. It would be cool if someone do something like that. Maybe it would could have a photo. Anyway, so I'm gonna change file now to showcase all the different assets, I guess. So this is my modular setup with like all the elements to showcase, so that you can see any kind of variation. The only variation you can't really do is this monowheel setup, because how it's constructed. So just here, I'm just gonna take a look at the turrets here. It's a heavy support weapon on the turrets. It's not the same turret because it's not the same modular system, but it still fit like if you prefer having big turrets on the monowheel or the smaller one, it's possible, right? You have texture on it? Yeah. But maybe it's too metallic, so I'm gonna stick to gray. And if you want to see the difference between the turret rifle, this is the body of the turret rifle, of the heavy turrets, and the turret rifle is gonna be a little bit different. So that's why there is two, but it's basically shares the same base, right? My design was like having some kind of sensor and a bunch of stuff, right? So of course you have another turret links because of how big the monowheel is. It's a longer version, but like if you want to use a longer version on the bikes, it's gonna work too. So not I don't know what to try. Where did I put the option turret placement? Sorry. Been a while since using that. So this is closer, you see, but like if you have a weapon, it's gonna collide inside. So that's why I did two, but you can choose whatever you want, right? I'm gonna deactivate the side link, the turret link, and the turrets because I don't want to see them right now. As you can see, the side link works too. For the side, you have two versions, or you have none if you prefer that one. I kind of like the protection on top of it for the monowheel. And if you don't like the top, I think that the only modular setup, not only modular piece you can move is the top section. So this one does not work. This one could work, and there is like the one where there is like none. So if you want to not have the screen, you can, of course, and that's up to you if you like the design or not, I guess. But a lot of thought in the design because a lot of monowheel you can't stop because there is only one wheel, so that's why, and you can really turn very easily. So that's why you have those wings and those reactors, because it's gonna counterbalance whenever you want to a fast stop or a fast acceleration, right? If you watch any sources about monowheels in real life, you have a lot of issue with acceleration and stopping the machine. And even in sci-fi environment, I think you can't really bend physics that much, so it's a workaround, right? Anyway, I'm gonna switch to remove the basis of the monowheel, right? So this one slide, this one is a bit more complicated to assemble, as you can see, because it's a certain angle. So I think you should put that one first. It's been a long time since it's been a year since I designed this, and I had like so many programs to make those, not to make those, but like to share the model, I would say. So yeah, the top came after, right? The bottom slide. So basically it's gonna be one. So it's gonna be one slide like that, and the top part and the bottom part, right? That's the way it's constructed. So should be pretty straightforward. I mean, there is not a lot of parts. So of course, that's enough of the monowheel, I guess, and I'm gonna showcase more of the bikes. It makes sense. For that, I need the base. I'm just gonna give it the base. Or maybe not. I mean, you see the pod, I want to see the bike in all this splendor. So if I just output everything to 0, so you have the main core body, of course, and you have the main girl. And again, you can have the choice to not have the girl, and you have like 7 different poses, because I just double poses with different head that I completely forgot that I have the same pose anyway. And of course, it's compatible with any Aurora Vanguard weapons. So if you don't want the shield here, you can replace it with any kind of weapon. If I want the pistol, right? The double pistol. Or if I want the small daggers, right? So your choice, and the same with the head. You have a bunch of compatible heads. So the first motorbike gonna be your normal motorbike, right? So for this setup, it's just on the edge on a regular bike's base, if you like the big name scale, I would say, right? The other bike is gonna be a little bit longer, but I mean, I wanted like a big bike, more realistic for military stuff, and not realistic, but like in my concept of stuff, I would say. And of course, you can swap the different top. If you want to have the screen on the regular bike, you can, but it, in my opinion, look weird. And you have the different bikes that can fit like the other bikes too. So this one look cool, maybe. Of course, you have the jet bike version. You can, I mean, you can if you want have a wheel and a jet in front. I would look weird to me, but hey, so the same, you can do the same with like the other parts. But this is a jet bike, and again with like some flying stuff. No, it came with this top accessories. But I like sometimes having this one. I think it look cool. More like a spaceship, right? And you have a new type of wheel. If you compare to the both, there is a smaller, like smaller version of the wheel that is not as long, and you have a complete wheel, I would say. And there is like a wheel without a more sci-fi vibe of wheel, I would say. And the same with this one, right? So see if I swap, same kind of wheel, the first wheel, and second time of wheel. It's a little bit bigger. The tire is a little bit bigger, so it's more like a heavy duty type of bike, I would say. Especially if you have like this version with like a bit more armor on top. And yeah, it doesn't came with a back. I think it came with that back. And of course, if you want the full armored front, there is this version too. A lot of the details are like, if I go like under, it's gonna be a bit muted because like nobody gonna see it anyway, right? And it's easier to print like that. Anyway, maybe this version could work with the jet bike. Oh, I'm stupid. Look a bit weird. I mean, maybe some people want to do it. I don't know. And with this version came with like the side. So if I take the side, it's a regular side. Of course, it's going to this for hole. And so it came with the side and then complete the full armored setup with, I guess, I need a better front, not this front, a better top front. Yeah, it came with this one, and that completes the full design of the bike. Again, you don't need to use that one. You can use the other one if you want. But the main design was those ones, right? And again, if I add the turret rifle, with I guess I like you can use the sniper on top of it, but it look a bit silly to have a sniper turret like that. I mean, I like it, but I would say it's a little bit stupid. But I really like the quad cannon for those setup, right? And of course I need to put the turret link on and turret placement to 1. And with this you have, my design was, if, maybe on this one doesn't work because of the side, but I wanted to have enough space if you do rotation to fire at an angle and very front, right? Does that make sense? Because if you don't have turrets or gun only, if your gun only or fix, that means when you shoot, it's gonna just go straight forward, and that means you need to ride to the location to shoot on it. And here we can like ride on the side and have one turret. I mean, there is a limit angle, of course, right, because of the pipe. But if you, it makes more sense for me to for that design, right? So yes, that's it for the showcase for the bikes. I hope it helped for like to see how it goes and have more details. You have a lot of renders. You have the 3D viewers in the link, in the gallery, so you can see at your ease and see if you like the model or not. And you also have like printed model by Retroflow, who did the printing, because I didn't have the time, and I know he printed some of those back then. So go check the 360 for yourself and the picture if you want, and to see. And it print very well. I like the design. I mean, I made the design, but hey. Anyway, you have the scale of the girl, and yeah, and the monowheel is. I mean, I don't think it could be usable easily as a proxy because it's very big, but yeah, I like the monowheel. It's quite big, but I would make sense to have a bigger machine, I would say. And also you have a limitation of physics when you do any kind of stuff in resin, right? I mean, it shouldn't be too small, if not it's gonna break. And I don't want this massive big wheel to break. Um, and that's it. So right now I'm gonna talk about the other add-ons, the new add-ons that came with this Kickstarter, but I didn't want to put it in the in reward tiers, right? Because it's gonna be so much tier, it's gonna be insane. So to keep it simple, it's gonna be it's an add-on, and this add-on is gonna be cheaper right now than the full price add-ons usually. So grab it if you're interested. If you're not, like, it's okay. you you are not to buy those if you don't like them, right? I'm gonna just close this instance of Blender. save. So this is this one, right? The unmanned ground vehicle. I put this file for scale. Right to the side you have the bike, and you have the monowheel, and it's designed to fit like a full body. If you use it's another model, but it's the same Aurora Vanguard lineup. It's like for the future. Um, it's designed to, like, if you use other type of setup, it's designed so you can slide someone if somebody's hurts, or you can put like a lot of stuff, like a lot of props into it if you want. And you have a lot of variation. You have one with speakers, because of course with my army there's a bunch of speakers anyway, and then we have like this one with like a modular setup for like a working, I can't remember the name in English, sorry, but that kind of stuff to dig hole and stuff, right? So I'm gonna go in details a bit more, and for the size here, and this is the size of a tank on the side. I'm just gonna remove the, where is the front back? Okay. So with that, I mean, the tanks are for later. It's gonna be a release of pinup before, but you see the full scale of the setup. And so your unmanned ground vehicle is not super big. It's not tanks. It's meant to I mean, if you look at what's happening right now, you know, right? It's the future of supports, and I guess it's good to have in this in sci-fi army to have this option, in my opinion. But if you don't like it, you don't like it, right? And you have two type of side. You have the wheeled one, and you have the not the, and you have one with tracks. So I'm gonna add the other stuff, so I don't need that. Don't need that. And I remove everything because I'm stupid. Okay, so I'm gonna concentrate on this one. I'm gonna remove the type and the front. So this is the main setup. Again, you have the video if you want. I shut down my Chrome. So you have the animation for this one. I'm gonna just showcase quickly because it's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna use the Sketchfab link to showcase it because it's gonna be easier for me. Just to see which model it is. Okay. So this is to showcase animation between the different variation, and you can reuse the same turrets as it's the same turrets on the bike, and it's like you need only to print one of them. Don't need to mirror it because it's the same piece, right? I designed it to make it easy, but I mean, for unground manned vehicle, it would be also easy to have like a in a factory to not focus on the right and left. It's the same component. It cut down the cost, even if like that faction is pretty rich technology wise, but it cut down the cost, and you see it's pretty straightforward for like any kind of assembly. So if you need it, it exists. But that's it. I'm gonna showcase the different elements right now, and I'm gonna use a track because in my opinion in sci-fi you don't have road everywhere. If you do, like if you're on other planets, right? But I think both need to exist, right? The wheel, I mean, technically it should be not rubber wheels, it should be like metal wheels, right? Like the NASA rovers. If you watch that kind of video, it's like some metal mesh. In 3D printing you can't do that, but Yeah, that's why I did that, I guess. So imagine it's metal mesh and you painted metal if you want to do it like on a very good sci-fi vibe instead of shred. Um, and the same for like the thread here. I use a rubber band for tracks, but imagine it's like some kind of metal or that resists like the void. So again, you have a simple version with just a gun on top, and again you can choose without the heavy or a normal rifle. I would say I prefer like the big rifle on top of those, right? I would use the mini Gatling one, I would say, which is yeah this one, and the ray gun look cool too. One of those two. I mean, that's my design, so I find it not all my design I think are cool because sometimes I do a design because I think people would prefer those kind of design, but it's not my taste, I would say, right? But it exists. You have the anti-aerial gun. For this one, I would use a quad cannon again. Like this one, it's more like an anti-drone type of small unmanned vehicle, right? And of course, it moves. Okay, it break. Don't know what I did with my node. Okay, so I should rotate, but I think because it's a newer version of Blender, some of stuff changed. Anyway, it rotates there. The only downside is it's not super big. I mean, in a sense that it can fall if you're on the side like that. I'm gonna zero out because it look weird like that, and I'm not sure why those one works fine. Not sure what is happening right now. I don't have the time to correct it anyways. It's just a showcase and test for myself when I do this kind of node, right? But yeah, here's the setup, and of course the other one rotate too, right? Then you have like not that one. Oh, this one came in two parts too, but you have a simple bay with like different with open and not open, of course. So if you want to have some kind of props into it and put a girl into it and etc., kind of cool too. This is meant to put metal wire to have drones, like a hive of drones. I'm gonna showcase the drones. Did I plan to showcase? I mean, I'm planning to sell the drones. I'm not gonna showcase it right now because it's gonna be in the Kickstarter and in the renders. It's just simple drones, and because they're so small, you can only pin them. But like you have a rock base, you can put like a small 8mm, 0.8mm wire or 0.7, I can't remember. Anyway, wiring is very useful when you do those kind of resin print anyway, in my opinion. But I use wire all the time. So you can have a bunch of drones on top, and that's why I designed this one. It's more like a generators um, type of thing, and a shield. Even there is no cog to like do the shield in the lore in that one. And this one is one with with big speakers. One of the pinups that came in the next Kickstarter is designed to have a pole dance, and the pole dance is based on the polearm units. So you can have flags like in the renders, and the girl like in the 3D viewer. And I think that's it. Yeah, there is this one with again I can't remember the name in English, but and you can pose it whatever you want, and you basically you slide. It's the same part, and you have those elements that came. So if I take this part, you have this one you can slide don't know why I can't write. So you have that one that go out and that one that go in, right? And you adjust rotation, and you have a number of rotation you can do on that one. It's 8. So it's not exactly as posable as you can see, except if you like glue them. But I wanted to have like that kind of setup for the unground vehicle, right? And of course, with those one, you have also 2 options for front. You have this kind of blade, and this one too, like a more V-shaped blade. And the way it goes is just slide into those 2 holes. And it should like stay in place, friction base, very easily. And of course, you have also from the front, you can put, I mean, it's modular, so you can have at the front or the back, right? Put rebuild at the back. And if you use this setup, I guess I did also some smaller one, for like when you anchor yourself into the mud or into the soil or into the dirt to have better stability, right? Imagine you, even it's not that, if you want more stability for that kind of gun, right? It would be wise to have like some stability stuff. And I don't know how many. Yeah, you have one down and one up, and you can swap them. It's you for those you don't need to glue them. I think the side you should be fine with not gluing them. But because it's so small, it's always hard to do like better than that, right? Because I have just no space. Right, I have just enough space. If I take the side track, I don't have infinite space if I want details for those. And it's not like if it's the tanks. Like if I showcase the tanks, you can have as much details in the tracks because it's so small. Anyway, the tanks is coming soon. The bike, coming soon. A lot of things are coming soon. I think that's it for the Unground Man Vehicle Showcase, and if you're still there, thanks for watching. Hopefully the Kickstarter you like it, and yeah, thanks, and hopefully for the next video and next campaign.